Ye just came all over Jewish people with a massive apology. And because of that, Travis Scott reunited with Ye on stage, and we got to feel this moment again. And with the fourth delay of Bully, one undelay, and then a fifth delay, I know it's extremely confusing, but it wouldn't be a Ye rollout if it wasn't. There's a lot of signs pointing towards something bigger happening here and a huge comeback from Ye. So let's get into everything. And before anything, as always, leave a like, subscribe, helps the channel out a ton and grows our community even stronger. And first, before we talk about any type of actual music, we need to speak about this moment that happened between Ye and Travis Scott in Japan. So it was rumors at first that Travis was going to bring out Ye as a special guest at this show. Then we got pictures of Ye's Maybach entering the stadium. And then, well, Travis brought out Kanye. And they performed a bunch of songs, no new music, but this is still huge for Ye and the new album. This moment is going to have Ye everywhere, especially after the apology, which we'll get to in a second. And honestly, as messed up as it is, the apology was probably for this, which I guess proves Ye's original point a little bit. But yeah, obviously Ye has had shows, but the apology combined with this is really putting him in the public eye again and setting him up for a great rollout. And speaking of rollout, let's talk about Bully and if this album is even still coming out. And I do just first want to catch a lot of you up who might not know what is going on right now and get you fully up to speed, because this has been a very interesting week for Ye, especially if you don't know about the apology I was talking about before. Now, Bully obviously was supposed to release on November 7th, and well, we don't have the album clearly, or else I'd be milking it for content. But jokes aside, we first got the delay, which I think a lot of people honestly expected. I mean, this is Ye's first real solo album after Donda. There was no way it was dropping without promo. And a lot of people, after everything that has happened this year, see this as his quote comeback album as well, which I'm sure a lot of you do as well, and I do too. So that was not really huge staggering news. We all knew that shit wasn't dropping, but what was absolutely huge news was Ye finally addressing everything he has said in February. He apologized and sat down with a Jewish rabbi to show his remorse towards everyone he hurt with his words earlier this year. I'm telling y'all now, hold the jokes in the comments because I already know it's like a layup for y'all. But seriously, to go through quickly before we get into the meat of this video and what I actually want to talk about with the future of Ye's music, what Bully actually is, there are some pretty important clarifications that Ye makes in this apology video. So I do want to take a look at that because it is kind of a self-reflection on himself rather than an apology. And first is him acknowledging his bipolar disorder and how a lot of people really don't understand it. Here's a look at that.
So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage.
So yeah, super great to see Ye say these words and really explain what he's going through, because a lot of people can't really comprehend that disease that he has. And honestly, I think a lot of us can also agree that Ye is just the wrong messenger for what he was trying to say, and that he really just couldn't get his message across in a way showing how the industry wronged him that the public could take it well, I guess. But along with him explaining a little bit more about being bipolar, he also talks about making amends, building back everything brick by brick. I don't need to explain, take a look for yourself.
Yeah, and it's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said, and I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
So as much as a lot of people are literally thinking this video is AI, this dude Ye really made everyone think he hated Jewish people so much that he's getting AI accusations on an apology. But he obviously wants to rebuild and make a change. Even looking at relationships like Travis that might have been damaged during that time after Ye called him out are being repaired through appearances like this. And even if this apology isn't 100% genuine, I still think this is good for the music, and I don't really care about all the apology stuff, to be honest. Ye is Ye at this point. But yeah, the apology does work in the music's favor. So let's actually talk about the music, upcoming events from Ye that prove these points I have even more, and just dive right into things. Because now that the apology is completely out of the way, we can just focus on the music, the rollout, and get that elephant that's been in the room since February out. So another huge topic besides the apology is obviously the AI on the album. Well, as a lot of you may know already, the grills are completely gone, and they have been gone. First, we got this picture. Also, if you didn't notice, in the apology video, he did not have grills either. Also, at his most recent performance with Travis, he was singing every lyric, and it didn't look like he had grills in at that show either. And that picture coming out the same time as the apology, as someone that works in this realm of the industry, it's not a mistake, it's a PR run. It's exactly how you set the beginning of that comeback up, and you get those people to forgive you, or at least pay attention to you again and talk about you. And Ye definitely has everyone watching right now, especially after this moment with Travis. Now, along with these two things being huge for this next solo album rollout, there is still a ton more. November 29th specifically, which is the date for Ye's next stadium show taking place in Sao Paulo, Brazil, which, self-plug, if you want to watch that, I will be streaming the entire thing here on YouTube. So subscribe and turn notifications on if you guys want to watch that. But yeah, with that show coming up at the end of the month, the solo album's next date being in December, and I don't want to say date just yet. I'm saying that with quotations because I don't think that's actually going to be the date, but it's all very close together to get people talking about Ye and bring him back into the conversation. Now, along with the show, the date, the apology, the grills, the special guests, you guys can see it's all adding up. But with all of those things, we also have another show and Bianca's website on the day before and after that delayed Bully release date on December 12th. Wow, that's just like total information overload right now. But you know what? I can at least be happy that things are happening with Ye and I can make content on it again. Bianca's, to what I presume is a fashion website, opens on December 11th after being teased a little while ago, which makes this other upcoming show in South Africa take place on the day after Bully releases on December 13th. Now, even if the album doesn't release on this date, which, to be honest, like I said, I don't think it will, I'll keep it a buck with you guys. I think straight up there just needs to be more time between the apology, the rollout, and the album actually releasing to get the hype this album deserves. And honestly, I think Ye knows that, so we're fine in that area, because all of these events still build hype and get people talking about Ye. So why wouldn't Ye just come out and say that the album's not dropping if it's gonna keep getting delayed? Well, that's because it's scrapped. I already know that's gonna get clipped out of context, and people are gonna be saying that OTN is so dumb, he's already saying the album is scrapped with zero proof. But I don't think Bully is even a thought anymore, and obviously this is a theory. But yeah, we've seen snippets, we've seen the cover, we've seen all of these leaks, but if you look at Ye's history, this is exactly how he plays us. I'm starting to think that Bully is just a straight Trojan horse, a fake out, and Ye is just getting ready to pull the rug out from everyone. Yeezy money crypto joke aside. But think about it, we've had what, 5 delays now, a full apology tour, Bianca dropping something the day before this new date. All of these scattered events are building attention again, but the hype for Bully is kind of just dead. And in my opinion, it feels like nothing could save it. The name's been floating around for so long that it's lost its spark, especially with everyone knowing that a lot of the music on it is AI. Everyone is tired of waiting. So what's the best way to bring that energy back? Drop something that nobody saw coming. It would be classic Ye, and he's done this over and over with turning albums into something completely different. Yandi turning into Jesus is King, Hitler turning into Ye. The man has a literal PhD in confusing his fans, so what if Bully is just that setup and the real project is something entirely new? Maybe a title change and a cover change to that In a Perfect World that got teased earlier this year. And this whole comeback rollout is Ye's way of cleansing that old image before introducing the new real version of himself. And honestly, that would be genius marketing, because if he drops a surprise album that's completely different from what we expected, that instantly brings all of the hype back. Everyone online is going to go from Ye fell off to Ye is back, especially if there's no AI on this project. The narrative flips overnight like that. So yeah, I don't think we're waiting for Bully anymore. I think we're waiting for Ye to kill Bully in a way and replace it with something that shocks everyone. And this thought that I've had that Bully is this Trojan horse also plays into the grills. The fact that they are gone is absolutely huge. And also that we're seeing him on stage rapping every lyric with a mic. Ye isn't just sitting around doing nothing, and obviously we don't know if he's recording music, but the fact that so much is happening with Yeezy shows apology, literally everything everything else is kind of a tell that he's really locked in right now. And I know we just got photos very recently, but once again, we don't know what Ye is doing on his own time. These pictures of his teeth could have been taken months ago and we just had no idea. The album could be finished. All right, the album isn't finished, but I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down here. There's just too many things lining up for this all to be a coincidence, especially where Ye is in his career right now. So I think we have a lot to look forward to for the future of music. We also have another just announced show in Mexico in late January. Ye's schedule is packed to the brim, and we're bound to get an official announcement on something soon. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about everything. Do you believe in this Trojan horse theory? Tell me everything down below in the comment section. Give me your theories, your thoughts, what you had for breakfast, anything. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It helps push it out to more people and build our community. Join my Discord, follow my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. All of those links will be down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and on that note,